All right, so the Democrats and their media lapdogs are revolting, gaslighting us all once again after Senator from California, Alex Padilla, deliberately got belligerent at a Kristi Noem press conference where he had to be forcibly removed and was subsequently arrested for his behavior. Listen to how MSNBC and Nicole Wallace are spinning this situation. I'll then show you the part of the video that they conveniently cut out to fit their narrative. Then I'll finish with a wild take by Elizabeth Warren, aka Pocahontas, that you are just not going to believe. Well, at this point, maybe you will. I'm Zach Costello. So, in order to spin reality and craft their narrative, watch MSNBC and Nicole Wallace use edited footage from the office of Senator Alex Padilla to lie about what actually happened and why he was forcibly removed from the Kristi Noem press conference and then subsequently arrested for his disgusting behavior.
A sitting senator, California Democratic Senator Alex Padilla, was treated in a manner you don't see every day in the United States of America or in any democracy for that matter. Today, he was forcibly removed from a press conference that was being held by Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem. The sitting senator was then handcuffed and his body was placed on the ground. The video released by Senator Padilla's office shows what I just described.
Sir, hands up. I'm Senator Alex Padilla. I have questions for the secretary because the fact of the matter is a half a dozen violent criminals that you're rotating on your.
I also want to know typically how many of our ICE agents have been docked or
On the ground. Hands behind your back. Hands behind your back.
If you let my hands go, I'd put behind my back.
All right, cool. One hand, lay flat.
Other hand, sir. Other hand.
There's a disinformation campaign underway on Fox News where Kristi Noem did an interview in the 3 o'clock hour and said he didn't identify himself. I'm going to ask the control room to rewind that and play it again. While they're doing that, let me just state this. He said, oh, here it is. Watch for yourself.
Sir, hands up. I'm Senator Alex Padilla. I have questions for the secretary because the fact of the matter is.
If this is how they treat a senator with a question, imagine what they're doing to others. That's the question for all of us right now.
Notice how they don't rewind all of the way back to when Padilla first started interrupting the press conference. They cut back to when he said his own name after things had already escalated and he himself was getting physical with Noem's security. Here is the clip showing the very beginning.
This country and what they have tried to insert into
Secretary, I don't know
the
what
city.
you insist
So I want to say thank you to
exaggerated
every single person
Sir,
that has been able to do this.
hands up.
Also, I want to
I'm
talk
Senator Alex Padilla. I have
to
questions
rioters
for.
So reality shows he did not introduce himself. He just started yelling out to interrupt the press conference, and once things got physical, he started trying to claim who he was, as if being a senator gives you the right to act belligerently 6 feet away from the Secretary of Homeland Security. If you or I went into this room and acted this way, we would be treated exactly like this. This, to me, is finally a politician being treated like any normal citizen would be treated in this circumstance. Welcome to the real world. But of course, you know what this means. President Trump is a tyrant who silences and censors his political opponents. Listen to this wild take from Elizabeth Warren.
They're having a press conference. Cameras are rolling. And Alex Padilla wants to ask a question, and he gets thrown to the floor and handcuffed for it. And then the Trump administration just wants to gaslight everybody and somehow try to blame the senator for that. All I can say is anyone who isn't already convinced that the Trump administration is trying to undermine free speech in this country, trying to shut down anyone who doesn't agree with Donald Trump and doesn't bend a knee to Donald Trump, anyone who doesn't believe that that's what the Trump administration is doing needs to watch that video of Senator Padilla being wrestled to the ground and handcuffed simply for trying to ask a question. That's why this is a big deal. So a lot of Democratic senators have stood up and said, enough. I want to hear where the Republican senators are. Because anyone in the position that Donald Trump is in who is willing to do this with a senator and back it up, Kristi Noem in there ready to back up and no apology, try to defend herself and lie about what happened. Anyone who's willing to do that is willing to do it to you, to anyone else in this country.
There it is. There's the fear mongering you heard from both of those clips. It's going to happen to you. How about an apology from Alex Padilla for acting like an asshole at a press conference that he wasn't invited to, showing up in street clothes? Let me ask you this. If you walked by Alex Padilla on the street, would you have any idea who he was? Most people didn't know who he was until right this second. This deliberately belligerent behavior to get himself in trouble is an attention grab precisely so that they can continue to craft this narrative against President Trump and drive the resistance against the administration. No one behaved this way when Biden was in office. You didn't see Republican senators or congresspeople acting this way. And why is that? Why is it that the past 2 times Trump has been president, we have riots all over the place? All of a sudden, everyone is racist. This is the game plan. Sow division and unrest. These Democrats are happy to see America's cities burn so that they can keep their grasp on power. And they'll try whatever it takes, even if it costs everyday Americans their lives and livelihoods. Stay awake. I'm Zach Costello.